Welcome to Lexx Appeal, Episode 2, Season 1.
Oh, Season 1, Episode 2. You did it backwards.
I know. This was... Okay, we're halfway through Season 1 now, and you have some harsh things to say about the characters in this show.
Not really harsh, I just had issues with this episode. It's like, alright, so we start out and everyone's like, kind of a bastard to each other. Like, I thought, okay, well, you know, the first episode everyone's kind of a bastard to each other, but then everything's fine, but everyone's still kind of a bastard. And I was like, well, there you go. Also, I don't like the robot. I hope he dies in a horrible, painful, de-atomizing kind of way.
You can't feel pain.
Still, you know, atom.
Well, sort of can, but not in the same way we do. But, yeah, like Lexx always does conflict between characters. Okay, this episode is not necessary viewing if you want to watch the show. I think it's a good one, but it's not necessary. The next one's unnecessary and bad.
So you could basically just watch 1 and 4, and that would be like a whole thing, right?
Yeah, you can watch that and you don't lose anything, really.
Oh, okay.
This one, you got the main characters. They decide to go to Brunus, which is the ancestral home of Kai's people. Kai, the undead assassin guy.
Yeah, they switched over from the dark zone to the light zone, and they had a new planet, but this was the first one.
Yeah, later on they go to the dark zone, the light zone, and that's where they all died. And Kai was born and then was killed. So they go there.
He was born and then killed, and you know.
Yeah, and everyone knows this because it happened in the past, will happen in the future because Lexx has the idea of singularity, expansion, retraction, singularity, same things happen over again. Similar to the Battlestar Galactica one, but predating it, I think. This
has happened before, and it will happen again in the reboot.
Yes, with Battlestar it's like, similar things echo throughout history, and this one it literally happens over and over again, and people can do prophecies because they can just look into the past and see what happened in the future.
But with a better soundtrack this time.
I love the music in Lexx. I love it.
She loves it. But yeah, so basically, Zev has decided that she's in love with Kai, even though he's emotionless and also dead.
He's Tranquil from Dragon Age, but he was also an Antivan Crow, and like a rogue.
So we'd have to be a mage to be made Tranquil, because the regular person can't be made Tranquil.
Yeah, he's like a roguish mage who's got because he's Tranquil, he's got no powers.
Well, he could
so
have. It could be a mage class, like you know how you have like spirit warrior.
You could, yeah. So he knows how to fight after he became Tranquil. Then he trained as a rogue.
So no one probably cares unless you play Dragon Age. But we care. But yeah, so the robot's being a douche, and so Stanley wants to get with Zev, and she's like, "Aren't I hot? Except I hate you," and yeah, and so.
So they go to the Brunus, where for some reason Zev has decided that...
She decided that if we go back to his original planet, we'll find something that will cure his death.
His being dead and having some biological alterations, which they call decarbonization, which makes him invulnerable and constantly regenerating and requiring proto-blood.
He's been frozen in the carbonite.
It's like... the amount of leaps of logic she's doing to think that this is likely is ridiculous.
No, I can see that because she figured eventually at a certain point the script would save them. No, because it's like how, you know, if you're playing a JRPG, especially a JRPG, and you talk to like someone who's like, oh, well, you know, that sounds similar to something happened on Mount so-and-so like 150 years ago. And you're like, oh, we have to go there because, of course, the amazing answer to our really difficult problem will just fall out of the sky after a boss battle.
Well,
which it kind of did.
Zev believes she's in a JRPG. Suddenly, her blue hair makes sense.
She's got the hair for it, yeah. And the body. And the outfit, because, you know.
Yeah, pretty much.
All she needs is a schoolgirl skirt, and it's good to go.
So they're going there, and Jigarada, the cannibal from the first one, who you're not seeing pictures of this time because we explained it in the previous one.
Yeah, you got this. You guys got this.
She is alive. She was thrown from the very top of the ship, which is like miles into like water, but then she's alive against her eating...
goo.
You know, and it looks seminal because it's Lexx, and she starts eating parts of the ship.
Don't ask about the shower sequence, because I'm sure someone...
Yeah, like it's like a tumorous penis showering water on people.
With soft focus and red light for some reason.
And we find out that Zev's pubes are indeed blue.
You can't see, but there's actually a box right below us with a blanket and a cat inside it, so, you know.
Yeah. So they go into this planet, and they're looking for stuff, and Tim Curry lives there.
This is really great. Like, they're basically like, guess who we got? Special guest star, Tim Curry. He's like, I'm Tim Curry.
I was filmed in a green screen with no other actors, and I'm just hamming it up dressed in an opera suit because that's what I was wearing on that day.
Where's the green room? I hear it's got some scenery for me to chew.
Bye-bye, Pippa.
Oh, she can't get out because the door's closed, so...
You might hear her meow.
Yeah.
So, they all split off.
Wait, but there's this... The planet, though, is near the sun that's about to go supernova, which is why everybody left. But they have these stabilizer things that beam up to a satellite that shoot at the sun, and it keeps going back and forth, and that's what keeps the sun from going supernova.
I thought
theoretically.
I thought they left not because it was going supernova, because the stabilizers were dealing with that. It was so strong, even with the stabilizers,
like radiation.
That there was nothing there. They couldn't grow anything there, so anyone who stayed there for too long was going to die.
Yeah.
Okay.
So... Tim Curry is the Poet Man, which Kai knows about because he was taught. He was like, "Oh, of course, it's the Poet Man."
Actually, no, you misunderstood. He said, "I'm Poet Man." He goes, "Who's Poet Man?" And then Kai said, "That's Poet Man." Well, who is Poet Man? He's like, "A poet, possibly."
Oh, okay, I missed that.
So Kai didn't know, but he just sort of putting it together.
He reminded me, and this is going to be so totally obscure, but literary nerds, go with me. He reminded me a little bit of the poet Sarah from Chemical from the Woods. Look it up. Google it.
I'm assuming that she's right.
Literary reference, I win. But yeah, so they're like, oh, we'll go to the Vault of Memories, because of course we'll find memories there, and they get sucked into computer simulations where Zev chooses the burst of life, which is actually...
They show you something happy, and then they chainsaw you in two.
Well, you don't feel pain, though. And they collect all your memories up.
Allegedly. We only saw it happen. They said that it was like that. We only saw it happen to Kai, and he doesn't feel pain anyway.
That's true. Although, like, it seems like a pretty reasonable option if you had a terminal illness, you know?
Yeah, they steal your memories, and they put them onto, a floppy disk.
They don't steal. You obviously chose
CD.
it because you know what it was.
Or you don't know what it is, like Zev.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you're from that planet, you know that, that's what happens, and you... Like, they stop midway between, but, like, they're almost killed you, it's like sawed you in half. You, like, the blade stops there, and then they're like, whoa, and then they suck all your memories up into the archives, which I guess if you're gonna die anyway, it's not so bad, really.
Yeah, they put it on a CD for 700 megabytes of memory.
They didn't have flash drives back then. But yeah, so they get...
It was 5,000 years ago.
This is true. So they get roped into that, and then Tim Curry talks up, because I'm just going to keep calling him Tim Curry.
You should.
Talks up Stanley, he's like, don't you want to love somebody? He's like, kind of. You know what?
And he's like, yeah, the planet's actually empty except for me and I'm a hologram.
My penis. So he ends up in the True Love one where the thing scans him and decides he's female.
Because it's broken.
And then, so basically, and this is another, trigger warning, this is another Tumblr objective scene.
Tim Curry set this up after
Please research for how offended you think you may be.
Tim Curry was left when everyone else left the planet. He got drunk.
Yeah, he took like 4 of these flowers, so he got blitzed or something, and he woke up 4 days after everyone left. So
he rewired everything. So he's left these holographic insane messages for everyone in every room in case people go. And in this room, he put a bunch of his sperm in and he set it up so if any women come in, they will be injected with his sperm so that he can have children, because he's insane.
That was just the TV shutting off. Because we had this really cool blue sci-fi thing going on for a while.
Yeah, I can turn it back on again.
Turn it back on again. This is totally part of the plan.
We should totally have that light off, so it's just blue.
No, because then the visual quality will be horrible.
Interesting, though.
No. We'll do various things eventually when I set up my bedroom and everything. So... Anyway, so he's about to be injected with sperm, but meanwhile, back on the ship, Jiggerata climbs out of the ooze, and she's gonna eat the brains, because the brains are still there, because no one thought to squish the brains. And
these are the previous Divine Shadows.
Yeah, we discussed this in the previous episode, so refer back to your notes. And so they're like, no, Jiggerata, see, really, we're on your side, and...
We'll take you to the planet of milk-fed boys.
Which I have objections to, because you really can't get looking like those guys did. But anyway.
You got like a 13-year-old boy eating milk being fed to Jiggerata.
It was kind of a disturbing sequence.
In like a thong, well, by these muscular giant guys who were constantly drinking milk and dropping it over their chests.
It was I felt kind of...
So much female gaze going on, it was quite wonderful.
Yeah. So there you go. So
opportunity.
So that makes up for the rape. So she goes off and, guided by the brains, goes and gets Stanley and breaks him out of the machine because he's the only one that can fly Lexx. So he does not get raped by Tim Curry, in theory. And so she also turns off the stabilizers to destabilize everything, so the sun will go supernova.
The idea is to kill Kai so that he can't do the prophecy, because there's a prophecy.
There's a prophecy, but she doesn't know about the prophecy. She just wants to eat.
I think
boys.
the predecessors probably told her off screen to do it.
Yeah, well, of course they told her, but they didn't tell her why.
Yeah.
She doesn't look capable of high rational thought. Oh yeah, and she also kicks the robot.
That's why she becomes Pope in season 4.
Spoilers.
It only matters is one episode where they recreate the Vietnam War in a golf course with her as the Pope.
Spoilers. So anyway, then she fights with Stanley. He's like, no, we totally can't kill them because they're my friends, even though they kind of treat me like shit. So she takes his hand and she's like, I don't need you, I got your hand. And it looks exactly like that.
It does too. The budget for Lexx was not big, and this was like 1987.
So, just imagine Luke Skywalker with that whole, like, tears streaming down his ugly cry face going, no! It's not true! So,
It's impossible!
It's impossible! But yeah, so she goes back to the ship. She's like, look, Brains! Oh, wait, the Lexx doesn't work. And the Brains are like, you idiot, you need all of him. It's his voice. And she's like, oh, bug nuts. Then something really great happens is she kicks the robot head into the primordial ooze down there, which is fantastic because I hate him. Exactly, it just went just like that, and I needed some time in my bunk pretty much. But so then the Brains realize, wait a second, we can just modulate our own voices to create his. They say, Lexx, get us out of here. Lexx is like, alright. So Stanley goes and he's stumbling around, his arm is off, and he contacts the memory disk of some random guy, Brununji, and he sees the Time Prophetess, and the guy came to ask something about, like, some mineral deposits and some planet. She's like, no! 5,000 years after you die, Stanley Tweedle will touch your memories. I must tell him things and stuff.
Yeah, it's really great.
It's gonna suck getting her prophecy hijacked.
And the guy's like, oh, but
what about me? She's like, shut up, you're not important now.
Yes.
She's like, go here and do that thing, and he goes there.
Go subsection 85.158. Then Stanley forgets part of his.
He goes back to back. Comes back and it's 35.
Yeah. Can't fucking remember anything, can you?
It must be hard being a time prophet, I reckon. But yeah, so then he goes and he fails at saving Zev, but it's okay because now that the stabilizers came down, the light of this mysterious blue star shone through the eyes of the temple, because by the way, the temple is like a face, and it shines on Kai's laserdisc memories, which
because he was cut in half with his memories sucked out.
And it goes down to him, and he regenerates
because his memories are back in his body, and that makes him alive again because he's dead
somehow. And so
it's Lexx
frees her, and then all three of them are stumbling around.
It's like T-1000. He's like. And it's actually quite impressive for low-budget TV in 1997.
Oh yeah, I mean they're pretty good, special effects.
If you're gonna make Doctor Who less of a prime time type show and make it more obscure type one, I remember thinking at the time, if they brought back Doctor Who in '97 with the sort of level of technology of Lexx, it would have required much fewer people watching it, and I would have been quite happy to handle that.
She said 18 years later. Woo! But yeah, so that happened. And then they're like, oh no, I have to turn the stabilizers back on, and Stanley finally succeeds in doing that, but it's too late because they've been offline for too long.
The supernova is going to blow up the planet in 10 minutes, but the stabilizers will only start to work in 12.
So like, whoa, we might as well go out and watch a supernova, because, like you do.
Once in a lifetime opportunity.
And I'm thinking, how could they possibly get out of it this time?
And so did the writer, until he thought to himself, I got an idea, let's make the sun sentient.
So the sun is sentient, but then all the blue stars also sentient, and they talk to Kai, and they're like, see, it's the prophecy, we totally knew you'd be okay. So we're gonna go supernova, and they're like, alright. And also the blue sun has a tractor beam that pulls Lexx back.
So they get in the Lexx and escape.
And Jiggerauta was going back to it, but then she kept eating the little, what are they even?
They're called moths.
They have these little, like, roundabouts.
They call them moths.
Moths. So it takes off without her because she's been eating it, so she's stuck there.
And it laughs at her as it flies off.
That felt very fulfilling for me. So they get back on Lexx, and of course the Brains are still alive, thwarted again.
I want to know what...
And Jiggerauta is killed in the supernova, and Stanley gets his hand back, but still gets to have sex with no one.
I want to know, you must feel like you have failed on some fundamental level as a writer whenever you reach a point in your story and you cannot think of a logical way to continue. So you make the sun alive, and you make it save the day, and you make it have a conversation with your heroes.
Well, it's like Deus Ex Machina from like back in the day when there was sun worship. It's It's a raw ex machina. Google it, bitches. So that happened,
Helios
and
ex
people.
machina.
It is. So people are finally being nicer to each other, I guess.
They're all holding hands when they're all about to die, so you like that a bit more.
And Kai and Zephyr like, we're totally a couple, and I was like, straight people. I said it in the Guardians of the Galaxy too. But I mean, this episode was not as good as the last episode. I mean, effects-wise, it was about the same, and I mean, obviously Tim Curry is amazing all the time. I mean, that's what he does in life, is be amazing.
It's less necessary than the first one. The first one set everything up really well. This one is like, if you're really interested in the history of Kai's people, then go for it. And I like it. I love the universe building they constantly do in Lexx.
Yeah, I mean, that is impressive. As a writer, I'm impressed by this.
Lexx is so fascinating with it. It's just the random weirdness that they come up with. And it's a lot of other science fiction shows, especially of that time, where there were a lot of subjects they wouldn't touch. Lexx doesn't they put into a massive...
touched them all in places that you have to point out on a doll and core.
Lexx put all of them into a kiddie pool and then leapt in naked.
That just took that pedophile thing one step further than I was comfortable going.
That's Lexx for you. You know,
but yeah,
like,
so
at this time,
I mean, if you had seen the show, or if you watched the second episode to watch it with us, again, comment below, tell us what you thought, because I was not convinced.
Yeah, remember any other shows at this time? Next Generation had finished a couple of years earlier. Deep Space Nine was on. Voyager was on.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Babylon 5, maybe.
Yeah, because that was like during the Shadow War. That's about the time when I lost track, because I had things to do. I had things to do.
Here's Lexx coming up with cannibalism, with the young boys being erotically eaten by like this woman in.
This is a Pac-Man representation of cannibalism.
It's got full frontal nudity. It's got...
I know, right on television in front of everyone.
With a woman who is...
Well, I guess you're allowed
who has dyed her pubes bright blue.
Are you allowed to do that in Canada?
Apparently so. Well,
I know in Germany just...
You're allowed to do that in the UK as well. You can have anything you like after 9 o'clock, which is probably what they have in Canada. But this is the sort of thing that's common now in American science fiction stuff because of things like HBO and because of stuff like that.
Yeah,
But Lexx was doing this stuff years early.
Groundbreaking nudity. Just saying.
Yeah, nudity, extreme content. Like the first episode had the 50 children being killed on screen.
Yeah, that's true. That was kind of funny, actually.
And this one's got a guy getting chainsawed in half from the groin up. And then it's also got a guy almost being, inserted with Tim Curry's semen. It's, without his consent.
Every young girl's dream.
Everyone's dream. That's the most unrealistic thing about Lexx so far, that Stanley did not embrace having Tim Curry's semen stuck into his abdomen.
Imagine the children.
But yes, every episode of Lexx Season 1 has a special guest star. The first one was Barry Bostwick, who played Brad in Rocky Horror, and the mayor in Spin City. This one is Tim Curry. The third one has Rutger Hauer.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Okay. And the fourth one has Malcolm McDowell.
Ooh.
Then we don't have much in the way of special guest stars in the rest of Lexx. Occasionally, like you get... Father Jack from Father Ted turns up in one episode.
Oh, good.
In Season 4. Lister and Hall. Lister and
oh, wait, no, that's the other one.
Yes, that was Father Jack, yes.
No, that was the guy from...
Feck Arse Girls, he's in Lexx.
Yeah, but no. I did the wrong quote. That was from Boondock Saints. Fuck, Arse.
Oh,
that's the other guy. Sorry, wrong Arse.
Lister and Holly from Red Dwarf turn up as well in Season 4. There's a lot of guest stars in Season 4.
I tried to care about Red Dwarf.
And Keith Lee Castle turns up, and he is one of my favorite guys. This show, it's interesting. It has quite a lot of overlap with Urban Gothic. Tom DeVille, who wrote all the episodes of Urban Gothic, he writes a few episodes of this, and I think in Season 3 and 4. So the same director.
The television just went off. Didn't you do a review of Urban Gothic?
Yes, I did.
So, theoretically, in post, couldn't people find it at this web location right here?
Possibly.
I hope you really insert a caption there, because otherwise it looks kind of weird. But yeah, we're just saying. We're just saying.
Yeah, a lot of crossover. I only mention that because I assume that at least some of the people have seen my Urban Gothic reviews.
And if you haven't, what a great time to start.
Keith Lee Castle, a star of the vampire episode of Urban Gothic, Vampirology, one of the best episodes they did, and a really brilliant actor if you want someone who's good at playing David Bowie. And he'd make a wonderful doctor. He'd be the first goth doctor.
Oh my god.
He'd be amazing.
Oh my god.
But he appears as basically like a Renfield.
Because we've done emo doctor, so.
That's basically as Renfield, because they discovered that Vlad Dracula is actually an Imperial assassin who is designed to kill assassins who have gone rogue, so going to have to kill Kai. Not only that, has a ridiculous, pyramid-shaped haircut and is a woman. Because it's
Where
Lexx.
Where else would you find this, I ask?
Because it's Lexx.
But, so in conclusion...
Oh, Ralph Brown turns up as well. He's in season 3. He was the guy who's like, I got the Camberwell cow with Nail and I, and was in Alien 3 and a few other things. And he was in Wayne's World as well.
Is there anything you don't know, coincidentally?
The guy who I mistook for the Master and the War Chief in Memory Run, he's in season 3 and 4.
Good to know. So in conclusion, I'm like 2.5 stars out of 5.
Omega wouldn't keep watching if it wasn't for me.
Probably, yeah. I'd be like, whatever. Well, we'll see. There's Lucy Lawless involved, and I don't know about that. I just...
The next one's it's bad.
So there you go.
I always avoid the next one when watching it just because I really don't care for it. You might like it though. It's very standalone. There's nothing else connecting to it.
Well, possible. You never know. I am fickle with my whims.
Plus, it's got a lot of people getting like body parts removed, which you always love.
It depends if they deserve it.
Yeah, they're a bunch of twats.
Yeah. Oh, well, in that case, definitely. But so that's been our super sexy Lexx appeal. Yeah. If we haven't already said so on Twitter, we're looking for a title card for this. So
if you want to do one,
if you want to draw one, send it in. We'll be like, that's amazing. We're totally using this. You're the best.
Yeah.
And I'll even say it in that accent too.
And if this show does well, we might replace it eventually with X-Files appeal.
Yeah, you know what? I was thinking about that the other day. Like, the X-Files were so groundbreaking in the 90s. They were just such a part of the culture. And then everyone's completely forgotten they exist. Except for, like, I don't know, has Doug reviewed the movies? That's not something he'd get into. Has anyone reviewed the movies?
Don't think so. I know SFW occasionally does episodes.
Someone do it quickly. You can be first. Because we're not going to do the movies.
Like, I have most of X-Files on DVD, but I have to say, Lone Gunman and Millennium are much better shows.
Oh, no.
Much better.
Lone Gunman was so uncomfortable.
Aye.
They're just so awkward. And Millennium, I just couldn't get into it. The guy was like, boom, smoking a cigarette.
I have to rewatch Millennium. The first 2 seasons of Millennium are really good. The 3rd episode was crappy.
No, it was good. It was good when that show Sightings, that pretend UFO show, nonfiction UFO show, occupied the time block right before X-Files. When it was Millennium, I'm like, oh, what else is on? Do we have HBO yet? No, we
Did you see the episode where they parodied Scientology?
No, I didn't care.
It was brilliant.
Meh. But anyway, so that might happen. We'll see you next time, space travelers. So long, Space Cowboy.